All right, all right. Here we go. We're going live, going live. Big Al, BJ Morgan, and Biggie Steve. This is our cohorts. Today we're going to talk about NASCAR. We're going to talk about that NASCAR race in Darlington. And then we're going to get into the next race, which is actually an all-star race. So with that said, let's get started. NASCAR, baby. That's what we doing today. Hey, listen, we was at Darlington last week, and last week when we had, and let me say this too. We appreciate everybody who watched last week and commented. Remember, this is a family show. If you have a comment, if you want to come on and explain something to us that we got wrong or anything, just let us know. We'll get you on there. But actually, last week, Darlington, which was Sunday, was a pretty good race. Pretty good race, especially for our team, Bubba, 23X. Uh, Came in seventh place, so that's always good. And we talked about it last week where we said that, he needs to make a turn for the better this week because the last 3 weeks he was getting wrecked out. He got wrecked 3 times in the last 3 weeks, and he's been falling in points. So my point was to stabilize yourself. Top 15, top 10, and Biggie wanted the top 5, but whatever. He got a top 7, which was good. Got lucky at the end with a couple of crashes. He was able to move up a couple of spots. The race itself was good to watch. It was a nice race to watch, and one of the I didn't like one of the pit stops. It wasn't actually the pit crew that I was questioning. It was staying out on the track as long as he did. But because he did, he was able to come up through the crowd faster. And I didn't think he was going to be able to. I thought he was going to get mired back in 20 where he was when he came back on the track. But he was actually able to drive up through with better tires. And toward the end of the race, he did it. They did it again. He ended up at 14, which I didn't think he was, because he pitted with everybody when he came out at 14th. And I thought, with same tires, he's not going to be able to move up through the crowd like he did earlier. But he was actually able to get a couple spots, got up to 10. Then, we had a crash. Riddick wrecked out. He could have won the race, should have won the race. He dominated the whole race. But, what they said is once the cars, what they were doing was side drafting. And apparently these cars, you can correct me if I'm wrong, BJ, but these cars don't draft like the old gen cars did, where you get beside them and you can draft off of it and pull them up or pull them back. But these cars kind of stick together where you get into a certain draft in a certain position and you're basically wrecking both cars because they don't separate like the other ones do. But that wasn't our problem. That was Riddick's problem. That's why he didn't win the race. But Bubba ended up getting a couple extra spots toward the end because of the wreck. Ended up in 7th, stabilized itself like we wanted to do, get stable, finish the race in a good position, and now we can move forward, get the monkey off your back, and let's get going. What y'all think about the race?
I mean, to me, I still see it as a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like I guess I'm asking for too much. I just want to change, but I mean, I'll take it for what it is.
Well, seventh place.
I know, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I wanna see top. I want top 5. That's what's gonna give. I want him. You know what I'm saying? The last few races, 7. It's always middle of the pack. Do you want to be middle forever?
7th is not middle of the pack.
I mean, it's not middle of the pack, but to me,
you know how hard it is to make 7th in a NASCAR.
I granted, I get that, but I mean, like, come on, we're what are we talking about? We're 7.
Let me ask you this.
Are we happy with 7?
Yes. After 3 hard races, yes, we're happy with 7. I am anyway. BJ, you happy with 7?
I mean, that's 7th is a good finish, but I understand where he's coming from. Like, you want to see him up front more consistently. Like it's not just you want to he want to be one of those guys that's up there contending and winning almost every week, not seventh this
Contending.
week, then
Thank you.
28th, 32nd, 15th, 14th, and then we found the eighth place again. I understand where he's coming from. The good news
Yeah.
with that is if history repeats itself, he's coming up on a stretch of races and events last year where he kind of got hot. This was around the time of the year last year in which he rattled off a couple of top 10 finishes in a row if history serves him. I know he ran good at Darlington last year, this very race, and then he finished second in the All-Star race
Mhm.
last year, and I think he finished top 5 in the 600 last year. So he's coming up on a stretch of tracks where he has a history of last year. We look at that as if we look at his history, he's coming up on a stretch of tracks where he's got a history of running good and he can pull off some things. Uh, if I could ask for the race on Sunday, I thought it was fairly decent, and I liked how I would have loved for him to have gone for it, but I like at the very least we ended up where he started at. Like we didn't he couldn't really go for it, but we were looking up on the leaderboard and all day and he's seventh where he started and he's 12th and he's 15th and he's 19th and he's 20th and 25th and all goodness, what's going on? Seeing him getting lapped. I wish they would have had some of what Reddick had to got up there and actually challenge for the win and the lead, but I take a top 10 finish and getting back on the positive side of that, in a day.
BJ, I had a question on me watching the race. Since it seemed like Reddick was so the 45 car was so competitive all race long, and it's basically the same car as Bubba's car. I understand what Big E's saying because Reddick's the last couple of races, Reddick's been hot. The 45 car has been hot, and he really had an opportunity to win the race. BJ, why do you think the exact same car is not as competitive between the two teammates? I mean, one car has been competitive the last 3, 4, or 5 races, and one other car is competitive, but not where we want him to be at.
I honestly think, it has something to do between. I think it has something to do with the guy sitting behind the wheel. I'm not saying that he's a terrible driver, he's a bad driver. I just think his style now, especially now, see, you have to look back to back. I believe it was Richmond, where I think Bubba, I think he towards the end he was racing hard with Larson, and he kind of I think him and Larson made contact, and something goofy kind of happened, and he ended up way back, and Larson still finished up ahead of him. And I remember Bubba said something in his interview afterwards. He said, "Karma comes and gets you fast," or something to that nature. And so I think part of that is just him. I'm not saying he's not driving hard, but he doesn't want to put himself in a position. I think if from that standpoint to where he's taking someone else out and getting a lot of heat and a lot of flack and set himself up to take more criticism and fail. I think he's trying to drive more conservatively now. And I think Reddick is just a tad bit more of an overall an aggressive driver. And I think if you had to I think depending on what track you put him on, if you had to line him up and race him, Reddick would probably win more times than not if you put two or two of them head to head. But Reddick probably, you saw what happened towards the end of that race. Reddick will probably be the one that'll likely crash out maybe before Bubba Will, just trying to be too aggressive. But I think Reddick drives a very, aggressive style, and he's that type I think that'll just go after it and go for it. Whereas Bubba, I think, drives a more of a, but especially more lately, he drives a more conservative style because I think he's just trying to get finishes and he's at the point of his career. I'm sure he's received a lot of hate, a lot of boos. I think he's trying to drive a more reserved style and trying to drive to not hurt anyone's feelings is what I'm trying to say. And,
I
and
mean,
I think too also, and I'm a rap. I think too also it's just the behind the scenes stuff, the personnel. I think Reddick's got a Reddick might have the better people setting him up working on this car, than what the 23 might have. I think that plays a part of it too.
as you could see, like for the most, as you can see, like the top 3, 4 players, but even Reddick. I mean, being aggressive is basically what's gonna get you there. I mean, like they say, no guts, no glory. If you don't play to win, then what you playing for? because I mean that's safe. Playing it safe don't get you nowhere but the middle of the pack. I mean, like again, are you content with being in the middle of the pack, or are you gonna sit here? Are you gonna go out there and drive like you know what I'm saying, like all hell, like what I forgot what the term is, hell on fire, whatever. But I mean, that's what you got to do. I mean, if you crash out, you crash out. You're not hurting nobody's feeling, but at the same time, you trying to win just like everybody else.
I mean, that's basically what happened to the 45 car. I mean, he just raced hard. And he ended up, wrecking at the end there. Took himself out. Well, Bubba, this is like the. I mean, I haven't watched every race, but I mean, the last 3 races I personally watched, Bubba hangs out in the 20 spot and lets people crash in front of him and tries to sneak in and gets top 10. I mean, this is like the 3rd or 4th race I've seen him do that. And, it's just a conservative style that is not representation of Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? And, I mean, that's my personal opinion. Michael Jordan was an aggressive athlete. You know what I'm saying? And he always played to win. And Bubba is not representing that at this particular point on the racetrack. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or he's not representing what Denny Hamlin's about, too, because Denny Hamlin's is an aggressive driver, too. You know what I'm saying? So, maybe he is the pit, and that's why he feels like he's just a middle of the road, he has a middle of the road car or a middle of the road pit crew. Because, I mean, last year, Bubba was driving a lot more aggressively. To me, he was. I don't know about y'all, but he said he was a lot more aggressive last year. And this year, it seems like he is just content being in 20th spot and trying to sneak in on the last 5 or 6 laps, get top 10. I mean, that's his style. That's the style. That's the tactic he's using. You know what I'm saying?
Like they always say in every sport, you are what your record says.
Right.
That's true, and I think also you have to give him credit for knowing exactly what he can get out of his car, because you can drive like your hair's on fire, but if your car ain't fast, you ain't going fast. If your car ain't set up properly, then you're not going to be able to drive it that way. So him being conservative for a certain amount of time and actually, failing up where he gets in a better position because people crash in front of him. Well, that is helpful too. You got to finish these races. You can't just crash out every time because you're trying to win. You got to be able to finish races to gather points, or else your season is done, right? So that's the whole reason why we needed this week for him to have a good race, because he was drifting in points. He was every race he was going down because he wasn't finished. DNFs are the worst thing to have, okay? Because you get them points, prime, man. You got to get those points. So I think what it is, and like BJ said, he's come up to a certain portion of races where I think that they just know how to set the car up better for him. You can be a good short track racer and not a good super speedway racer, and vice versa. So, him being able to drive a certain type of car. Like I was watching the race and I was looking at Reddick drive and I was like, what would happen if right now you switch those cars, you switch those races, not the cars, but the races themselves. You put Bubba in Reddick's car, you put Reddick's in Bubba's car, where would they be? And you can never tell. That's why you don't set the cars up the same way for everybody. You got to set the car up for the way the guy drives his car. And yeah, it may be a little conservative. That just may be his style. I don't know. But I understand what you're saying, Biggie, is that you're okay with 7, but you want to see him pushing for the lead. You want to see him racing around with a fast car, and maybe if he doesn't get first or second, he gets 7. Not if he's in 14th and crash, he gets 7. I understand.
Exactly.
I understand, and I would love that too. But we just, at this point, we haven't seen that consistency of being up front. He has to be able to perform well in practice, qualify well to get a good spot up front to be able to finish first. If he qualifies in 20th and he starts out in 20th, something like that, he is where he is. Like I said last week, it doesn't seem like they get better during the race. Right. They stay during the race. You know what I'm saying? They stay where they are.
So, BJ, I'm confused.
They don't know how to get better.
BJ, I have a question. I'm confused. If you have a teammate. You know what I'm saying? In my mind, I'm not a NASCAR expert, but if Reddick's car is fast, wouldn't Bubba's car be close to the same setup, or is this because of the driving style? You slightly change it.
Well, each driver can tell them, hey, I think it's a part of driver style, but each driver can tell their individual crew chief and whatnot, hey, I won't mind set up this way, or I won't mind set up, that way. Think of it like think of it like if I guess in the NBA or the NFL, each player, yeah, we know we on the same team, but each player has, I guess, the freedom to wear their own shoes and wear their own style when they come out, you know, rocking, ready to play, and somebody else, and what may benefit and work for them, what they think benefits and work for them. You got one guy scoring 15 points and another guy, struggling to scratch. If that's the way that player wants it, how he wants to wear and rock his equipment, his style, that's him. I think something similar applies where, hey, I'm gonna tell my chief of crew, I want this set up this way, and I want my, you tell them you set up you want that way. It's just whatever fits, whatever I think fits me. I'm gonna tell my crew chief and crew to do for me, and I guess if you feel like that's what works for you, that's works for you. And the truth is, NASCAR is different because I know where I think this may go. You can say, well, why don't you ask your teammate, hey, can you give me some help, some pointers? Where can
Yeah,
you help me
that's
out with
why
this?
my crew chief ain't he missing something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to
You,
remember this too. You got to remember this too. Unlike other sports, in NASCAR, your teammates, but you're also competing against your teammates. So if
right,
I got a secret that's gonna make me run faster and beat you, I may give you, I may give you a slice of the pie, but I ain't finna give you my whole pie. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So
right,
I think that kind of maybe I think that happens more often than not. I'm not saying that's what they do, but I think with NASCAR having that different element of, hey, I'm competing against my teammate. Yeah, we represent the company, but at the end of the race, only one of us can be over there holding the trophy. At the end of the year, only one of us holding a championship trophy. I'm not
right,
going to give you. I give you a few pointers, but I'm not going to give you my best setup.
right,
I think that might play a part in too. I give you a few pointers, but I'm not going to give you. I'm not going to show you my whole hand. Unlike the Washington Wizards. Hey, well, hey, we all trying to win this game. Like, ain't no sense of me keeping what I know about the doggone Dallas Mavericks that we ready to line up from you to help me because it don't help benefit me because we both playing them because we both get credit for the win. In
right,
this instance, only one of us is gonna get credit for this win. So I can give you a few pointers, but don't expect me to
right.
uh, help you completely if you get what I'm saying.
Right, I got
Not
you.
only that though, like, don't you get more money for like being higher in the race? I mean, for placing better.
Not each driver gets their own individual. Each driver gets their own individual purse for their spot in the race and
Right,
get
yup.
sponsor payouts or whatever. But the money goes and in the long run, yeah, somewhere down the line, the money goes to help the team. But as far as individual payout, if if you and I are teammates and I finish fourth and you finish 30th, to my knowledge, the rule is just because I finished fourth, I finished 30th. We don't share in the prize money for fourth. That prize money for fourth is mine, and you get your 30th place prize money.
Right,
There's a cut of the money coming to the whole team that I guess goes into equipment and research or whatever. But
Right.
it's kind of funny because, like I said, you competing you got a teammate, but you're competing against them at the same time. If that
right.
makes sense.
I got you. So, like in bike riding, when you watch the Tour de France, I mean, they pick the person they want to win on their team. You know what I'm saying? Everybody on
Right,
that team helps that one particular Greg LeMond or whoever it is, you know what I'm saying,
right,
to win the Tour de France. And you know what I'm saying? But in this case, it's not working like that. You just basically had the same owner, really. You know what I'm saying? I got you.
right, right.
Yeah. So that's why I said like I really wish Bubba can, you know what I'm saying, can kind of like just show me he wants it. Give me something to believe in. Like, cause I just what we gonna say, okay, he's got 7 now. So now what happens if he go and drops back to let's say 15 or whatever the case? What do we say now? I mean, what do we like? That's it?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, there's a particular reason why his strategy is what it is. You know, like I said, I felt like, and BJ can correct me, that Bubba was more aggressive last year. That's my personal opinion. He was a more aggressive driver.
I felt so too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
but
BJ, would you say that too? Would you feel like last year Bubba was a lot more aggressive?
I think he was. I think it's really his most aggressive time period was really in 2022. If you remember, that was the year. That was
yeah,
the year he last won. He won that race at Kansas, but that was also the year he had the little scuffle with Larson and got suspended the race.
Right, yeah.
I think some of the on track stuff that is going on, the suspension and what's happened, like Larson, it seems like every time he and Larson get together racing too close, he comes out the worst of the wear of it. And while Larson benefits from it, I think he's trying to work on getting some people back on his side and not trying to, as they say, tick anybody off. And that may affect some of his own track, decisions or whatever. I'm not saying he's not trying to compete or be aggressive. I don't want that to be said that I'm saying that, or
Right.
he's not trying to win. He's not trying to be. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I think he's trying to work on becoming a more mature, I guess, in his eyes. He sees it, Bubba, and trying to make smart, calculated moves and not be too overly aggressive. But I do agree that in 2022 and some into last year, he felt like he was a lot more aggressive, I would say. But I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that here in 2024 he's not a better overall racer with that in. He just might know some things differently this year than what he knew 2-3 years ago or whatnot.
well, they do say winning cures all ailments. So you
Yeah.
think he probably try to at least win one just to get that that feeling back or whatever. But being in the middle of the pack and won your seventh place and fifth place, a few races back, and you take a step back and end up in like 15 to 17th place or whatever, and then you jump back to 7th, and then what, you're gonna jump back to what, like 18, 20 something. It's just like you're not. It's not being now. If you were 7th all the time, I wouldn't even have a problem with that because you're top 10. You know what I'm saying, going into every race. But when you keep taking a step forward, taking a step back, taking a step forward, going back, it's the consistency is not there, and that's my problem. You know what I'm saying? He's not giving me as a fan what I'm looking for. I
All
want
right, but Biggie, does that go back to what we originally started out this year with, which is it time to switch crew chief? Sometimes when you switch crew chief, I know it's difficult. I know sometimes you got to get comfortable, like my man what you say, you got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Sometimes when you're uncomfortable, you push harder because you don't have the comfort of that person, and you know that he's not going to push you like you till you're uncomfortable. He's just going to give you what you need to be comfortable. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, as a crew chief, you need to step in and say, "Listen, I know you don't like the car to be this loose, but the only way we can give you speed to win this race is to have you a little loose." You know what I mean? Sometimes somebody over you has to tell you that you need to drive different. And that's all I'm saying. Maybe it's time. I know people don't want to do it, but everybody, for some reason, everybody loves Booty. He's okay, but he's not winning. We're not winning, and this has been a couple of years now where we're not winning. We're not constantly racing up front, and that's where you want to be. So either is somebody out there who can do better, or you just got to take a chance and just make it happen, or it could be the driver. Maybe he's just not good enough to run up the front, no matter what kind of car you give him. See, that's what we don't know. So we're trying to figure this thing out sitting on the couch, but at the same time, we're only giving our opinions. And my opinion is you try another crew chief. Maybe you switch him up. You switch him. So I know Reddick don't want to give up his crew chief because he's doing good. So you really can't switch crew chiefs like you did last year when you switched pit crews. But something's got to be done. Maybe you could switch with one of Joe Gibbs' guys. You know what I mean? Maybe Bell, but Bell's doing better than we are. So I don't know. Only
Well,
person who hasn't won the
I'm
race.
going to try something to shake things up because what's going on now for the last few months ain't working, and sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. And If we don't start off with it, if you start off with the crew, then start off with the crew. And if it doesn't, and if it still doesn't seem to work, you have no excuses but to look into yourself and be like, you know what, I got to change something as a driver. But for now, it's not working. It's not, what I'm saying, nothing is gelling. Whether it be his driving, the crew the crew, it's just not working. You got to
Well,
look at it and be like,
maybe give it the half year. Maybe give it a half year, and it still ain't working. Where we're putting out good performances every week. Maybe they make a change. I don't know. But let's get into some numbers here, man. Brad Keselowski won last week. That puts him in the championship, of course. We're going to this. Actually, this week is a NASCAR All-Star race at Wilkesboro. So that should
Now,
be
the
it.
All-Star race, it still counts?
All-Star races don't count for points; it counts for money. Is that right, BJ? Count for money, right?
That is correct. The All-Star race is kind of like what the Clash was earlier this year. It's just an exhibition event. Nobody's scoring any points. It's just bragging rights and some cash, pretty much what they're
yeah,
racing
that'd
for.
be an all-star game.
Exactly.
With that said, let me ask you: have y'all heard about what's coming up new next year? What they got scheduled for next year? Y'all heard anything about that?
I
Or is
have.
it just me so far?
I think I know what you're getting at.
So you know how basketball has an in-season tournament.
Right.
They're doing an in-season tournament for NASCAR next year.
Oh, yeah? Like
Yeah.
the
So
top 10 cars or something like that?
well, everybody's going to be eligible for it, but they're going to dwindle them down, of course. And I think it's going to be the top 36 cars or something like that, and it's going to be like, I guess they haven't said all of what's going on, but they're going to have cars against cars. So you see the 6 and 45 right there. They may be racing to get to the next level in the tournament, not necessarily the next level in the championship. You know what I mean? So it's in season. So it just makes it more interesting where if your car is in the tournament, you're looking to beat the car that you're racing against. And instead of, necessarily having to win the race or have a good position, you're trying to figure out, are you in front of this guy? Are you moving to the next level next year? It should be interesting. I mean, I'm up for them changing anything and making it more exciting.
Yeah, maybe it'll bring in more, more revenue and more people, just to give it, a different approach. I mean, a lot of sports are actually doing that now, and that's good. Anything to kind of like, get more attention into the sport. I'm all for it. Hopefully, maybe something like that Bubba can probably benefit from it.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what they're doing. You're trying to get viewership up, man. You're trying to get money into the sport. So anything they do is always based around getting more people involved with the sport. But I mean, and I think TNT has some NASCAR rights next year where they're going to be showing some races, and TNT is the one that started the in-tournament games in basketball. So I'm sure they probably had a part of this as well in making this happen. So
Hey,
should be interesting, man.
TNT got a lot of pull.
So, Derek, besides this All-Star race, what's after the All-Star race?
After the All-Star race, you have let me see. So the All-Star race is in Wilkesboro, North Carolina, and then you have North Wilkesboro, and then Coca-Cola 600, which is in Charlotte.
Yeah,
that's a big race there. That's
a
super
big
speedway.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a restricted place, right?
No, it's a mile and a half, kind of like Texas and
What do I think about Atlanta?
Kansas. What's it now?
Which one's a super restricted place? Is that Atlanta now?
Yeah, Atlanta is the mile and a half. They made a restricted play, the super speedway.
Okay, yeah, that's why I get confused with Charlotte and Atlanta.
Well, the Coca-Cola is that the holiday weekend?
Yes, so that's the Memorial Holiday weekend.
Yeah, that's the big one. Yeah.
That's traditionally a big motorsports day because I think that's the same day as the Indianapolis 500, I believe.
Yeah, it's a big race. Everybody wants to. That's one of the races that icons win at. Become those guys. And it's one of the big tracks like Bristol and Rockingham. Was that the Brickyard and all that stuff? So
one of the crown jewels, what they call it.
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Looking forward to that All-Star race though, because it seems that it's more about speed than it is about because people race harder because you're not worried about points, you're not worried about DNFs and all that stuff. So you get a little more aggression in those kind of races because you're racing for money at that point. So that's it, fellas. Anybody else got anything else? I appreciate John throwing that comment up. Yeah, we know Bubba needs to
Hill.
the bases. That's for sure.
Yes,
I'd
sir.
like to real quick shout out, since we didn't talk about him last week, give him some love. He had an unfortunate spill at the truck race towards the end, but let's shout out to Rajah Caruth. He was running. He had gotten up there in the truck race, but somebody else started the incident coming off of turn 2 and took him to a bad finish. But just giving them a little shout out, a little love. I don't think we mentioned him last week.
Yeah. Rajah right now is, I think he's in 7th place or 6th place in the points. Let me see here. Not the Xfinity, he's in Craftsman. Rajah's in 6th place. He's 111 points back. So, but he's already in the championship too because he won a race. So he can drive a little more aggressive this year. Although you still want to gather up points for the championship, but he will be in the championship races. So that's good.
With the All-Star race, there's going to be a truck race Saturday too. I believe he's going to be in that too Saturday, the truck race. In conjoining with the Cup All-Star race on Sunday. The Xfinity, I think, will be off this weekend.
Oh yeah. Let me see here. Yeah, and it's always weird to me too when I see like they have an Xfinity race that's not at the same track as a NASCAR race. I wonder why they do that.
To my knowledge, that was when they were doing that they were trying to just expand the brand and just get more further outreach. And I think from what I've heard that they sometimes use those lower series as kind of like a way to sort of test the waters at some tracks to see if we want to eventually send, I believe, the Cup Series there. Like the Iowa track, they're going to the Cup Series. I think the Xfinity ran there years ago before the Cup ever went there before the Cup went there. Before Cup ever is going there for the first time this year. Same thing with the track at Nashville. Nashville for years was an Xfinity series. Then I think it was called a Nationwide series of series. But the Saturday series, it was one of their tracks only. And then just a few years ago, they sent the Cup cars to there. I think sometimes they do that just for marketing to get the brand out, but also kind of sort of test the waters and sort of send out a feel and sort of say, we'll send our smaller series there and see what they do there. And if they look good and people respond well, we may send the big boys over there, So
yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
That's what that's about.
Makes sense. I was just wondering because when I watch those races, I'm like, ain't nobody there. Everybody at the NASCAR race. They usually have a truck, Xfinity, then Cup races on one track. But it works out the way they want. I guess they got money to do whatever they want to do. So, All right, fellas. Hey, we're gonna get out of here as far as the NASCAR concerned. BJ, you're welcome to stick around. We're gonna go into a little bit of the Wizards since they got the top draft pick here. So we appreciate everybody. Don't worry about this. I cut it up, whatever. But we appreciate everybody sticking around. So we're gonna get with y'all as we move into the basketball. Somebody open it up because we've been basketball now.
I thought you had like a little beginning or something.
That's what I thought too. Let's get
I'm waiting for the little video or something. What's up? Here you go.
Nah, I don't play the video no more because it got Bill on. That's all. So I gotta make another opening.
You gotta do something.
Yeah, But you still should have played it because Bill goes with the song "When We Used to Be Dope."
Yeah, I guess so.
Nah.
I guess. We're looking forward.
It
We're
was
looking
on
forward
there.
right now.
Still wasn't dope.
Huh?
I said even when Bill was there, he was still wasn't dope.
Yeah, but you got your boy Strickland on there and all that. He was dope.
Yeah. But I mean, towards the later parts of Bill's year, he wasn't really.
Yeah, but you can't do that, man. He was dope at one point. Stop it, Steve. He was like
Well,
Deacon and
he got what he wanted. He got what he wanted. He in Phoenix doing nothing now
and making money.
and
There you go.
putting up donuts. Putting up donuts.
He made
All
his
right,
money.
all right. Relax. Here we go. We starting this basketball thing, man, and the Wizards have. I don't know. What?
Telling me to relax, man.
Well, you open the show then. Go ahead, open the show.
I thought the show was open.
You know how we do it, man. We're going on. Listen, the Wizards got lucky yesterday, well, whenever the thing was, the last show, and got the number 2 pick in the NBA draft coming up.
Yes.
Number 2 pick. Now, we can't get a superstar out the number 2 pick.
Look at Washington.
Everybody need to get fired, man. Everybody need to get fired.
I mean, Deacon, was that luck or was that tanking? I felt like we.
I believe. Listen. For the first time in my life, no, I'm not gonna say that because I think the Spurs. I think they cheat for the Spurs. They cheated us out of number 1. There's no way that Atlanta should have got number 1 pick. No,
that chance.
No way. We should have had number 1 pick. We tanked good enough to have the number 1 pick. So I don't like the lottery. I don't like it. It's too easy to manipulate it. It's no good. If you're last place, you should get the first place. Go ahead back to what the football does. And if you're worse, go to first. That's the way it should be from here on.
That's right.
Because
and
all that
got enough
balls, bouncing balls, man. That's a chance. I don't want to take a chance. I want to know.
All right. I mean, I'm put it this way. I'd rather have 2nd than 4th or 5th. You know what I'm saying?
Or 9th. Like what was it, 9th or 6th? We used to always.
No, we was down last year. It was 8th. We were 8th last year. Was it?
We were the same, right? We were the same spot.
Koulibaly?
I think we was at an 8th spot. We were the 8th spot last year to get
whatever it was last year, we reached once again. And number 2, we don't need to be reaching no more, man. I'm tired of reaching for players. Go ahead and get. I don't want to everybody's a project coming out of it.
I was about to say, yeah, they are.
But just saying that, I mean, I think we should have enough knowledge in the NBA, and our scouts and our new regime up front to be able to pick somebody who's going to contribute well in the beginning. Okay. Now, Biggie, I know you like a certain player. I know you like him.
I do.
But this guy is not going to be an NBA player, man, especially at number 2.
I mean, there is, but at the end of the day, there is, except for the guy from France. Other than that, everybody is it's a gamble. I mean, every year you're gonna, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna find somebody that is gonna be the net, you know what I'm saying, that man. I mean, whether it be number 2, number 38, number 20, it don't matter. Somewhere it just happens like that. But I mean, what you can go off of as, you know, being a safety net is going with players that you know that you've actually seen day to day, week by week on, you know what I'm saying, their body of work, like I say. And from what I see, there's only a couple of people to me that can I can like make a case for. I mean, they're a project, but I mean their ceiling is high and their floor is high, and that's what I want. I mean, I'm not gonna get
no. You're saying we should. Biggie say? You know, you told us before the show, but tell the audience who your pick is.
I mean, to me, I like Shepard. You know what I'm saying? Coming from Kentucky, the man, he plays defense. He's got, you know what I'm saying, he shot over 4% from three. I mean, he has some work when it comes to kind of like getting to the rim, but he does have a spot up shooter. I could just see him like, as far as you have Poole at the 1, you could have Shepard at the 2, you could have either Kuz or your man Danny at the 3 and 4, Koulibaly at the 4, and then you could just pick up a center. And speaking of center, to me, we have three picks going on in this draft. We got the 1, the 29, and the 51st. And what I would do personally if I was a GM, I would package that 29 pick and that 51st pick along with us, because we have like 2 second rounds next year that we got from, I think it was Phoenix. So I would take one of those second round picks for the 25th draft, and I would go ahead and offer it to maybe, let's say, a who's got 2 picks. I think Atlanta's got 2 picks. I know San Antonio's got 2 picks in the first. So I would see about trying to, trade with them, who's got double picks in the first round, in order to get Edie from Purdue. And I like Edie. Edie is averaging over 23 points a game, 3.5 blocks per game. The man, you know what I'm saying, he almost weighs just close to Shaq when he came into the league. He weighs like what? Almost 300 pounds or something like that. That's a big body. He's a big body.
It's a big body.
That's a big body. So, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's going to rough him in the paint. He ain't no Gafford where he's going to get, you know what I'm saying? He's going to get slumped in the beginning. But that man has got
Oh, easy. Let me just say this too. And I didn't mean to cut you off, but what I wanted to say, I don't want to forget. Let's give big ups to Gafford right now. Go Gafford is killing it in Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
He is not what he was here in Dallas. This dude is making shots. He's driving to the basket. He had 4 blocks that night. The dude is killing it right now.
But that's because we were perfectly tanking, though. We needed to get rid of him.
That's not what it is.
You don't think so?
No.
What do you think it was,
BJ says is the modern NBA built for a 300-pound center.
Yeah, so Biggie, the Bleacher Report doesn't have the Bleacher Report doesn't have us picking up the point guard from Kentucky.
I know they got the
because he's ranked like last.
But they want us to get some foreigner. I'm tired of getting the foreigners, man. I'm tired of everything is so political in DC. It kills me. Like we always
got to do with them drafting a foreigner?
Huh?
What does political got to do with them drafting a foreigner?
Because, man, like because we like to cater. We like to cater to the fans. Like everything is always a
what
market.
Fan? What are you talking
about?
We
want the Japanese market. We want the Israel market. We want, you know what I'm saying? We want all these markets to tap into instead of just going for what we know. And that's my thing. Like you can't.
Biggie, I think that's the player they want us to get.
Man, then so be it. But I don't think I'm gonna be a Wizards fan because I'm just tired.
Really?
I'm
really,
tired
Biggie?
of always going. I'm tired of always going foreign. I want somebody from the NCAA. I want somebody that played against, like, you know what I'm saying, that went to the chip. I want players. I want real players.
The NBA is a world sport, so
for us, we're not that.
The best players in the world right now are not people in the college rank.
But there's
number one players are not. There's no American that's the top 5 player.
The top 5.
There's no American in the NBA that's a top 5 player right now.
Yeah, but you have to lock up.
You want to win, Biggie.
Scouts, we don't have those type of scouts that look overseas.
We do.
Like, who? What type of scout? Because
we got Dawkins.
It's a brand new regime in there. It's a brand new regime.
Dawkins is supposed to be the best scout in the NBA.
No, I
He
mean,
is.
the guy from
He picked up OKC. He drafted OKC. He drafted.
What did he get in OKC? Everybody was.
They fighting for the championship right now.
Yeah, but everybody in OKC came
They
from
number one rank.
They
tournament.
number one rank, homie.
But the OKC drafted everybody from the NCAA. They didn't.
No, they
draft
didn't.
anybody
No,
from-
they didn't. The main players from Canada.
You talking about the center.
No, well, Chip is American, but
Listen,
the number one player is from Canada.
This is who they scheduling us to get right here.
Shea is from Canada, baby. Shea is from Toronto.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't. No.
This is the guy. There's the guy right there.
This point forward,
point guard. The 6'8" point guard.
I know who he is. I seen his game, but it just don't form they just don't. For some reason, they just don't make it here in the end. They don't make it for us in the NBA.
So you saying Giannis didn't make it?
Come on now, you don't like Denny? You don't like Denny?
Hey Biggie, you saying Giannis didn't make it?
I mean, Giannis. I mean,
you saying the Joker didn't make it?
I mean, yeah, but
you saying the big African didn't make it?
We don't have the right scout.
You saying Shea Alexander didn't make it?
Shea
didn't make it.
You talking about Shea Gilchrist?
Yeah, Shea Gilchrist Alexander. He didn't make it.
I mean, but where is he from though? Where
Canada. I keep telling you, Canada. I'm trying to say Canada.
But
Canada.
didn't he go to school?
No, he went to Canada.
He didn't go to school in the NCAA.
He did go to Kentucky. I take it back.
There you go.
Okay, well, and all of them.
And what about them Kentucky players that I just said? What did I say? Everybody and Kentucky breeds NBA players.
Okay.
Am I not right?
Man, come on,
Kentucky
listen.
Biggie, we getting a foreign player. We getting a
Biggie,
European player.
Biggie. Your boy, what's his name? Shepherd. He is ranked number 14. Why would you pick him at number 2?
Nah, they said so. He's ranked top 4 now. Right now,
He's top 5. He's top 5.
He's not top 5. That dude is not a top 5. He's dropping
top 5 ranked ESPN and the company's ranked top 5.
We should get Bronny James. We should get.
Stop playing.
Stop it.
Hey, we get Bronny, then LeBron is coming.
LeBron coming.
that didn't really help the.
But you should. I mean, look at the highlights. Look at the highlights of Shepard, man. He's something, young.
No, he's not. Hey, Biggie. I actually like the boy from
Purdue.
No. I like the boy. I like the big center from Connecticut. The 7'2" center for Connecticut. I like him, but I like him better than your boy.
He had none for Edie. He had none for Edie. You see, he had a double.
He crushed.
He had double. They had to double team him. They had a double. He
put 20 on Edie.
I saw the game. They had to double.
Biggie, who won? Biggie, who won?
Huh? Connecticut.
Okay, thank you. Next.
But Purdue, that's the thing though. Purdue don't have nobody but Edie. They shut Edie down by double team him, and they couldn't find no answer because they weren't scoring. Edie was the only highest scorer on that team. Edie was the main person. They had to. Like I was telling Deacon, they had the game plan for Edie. Then that was it.
Edie's not in the top 20, man. I hope you know that.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, somebody's gonna pull the trigger and get Edie.
Somebody's not the top 20, man.
Just like I told you, 6 quarterbacks are going in the NFL.
26-year-old LeBron.
Just like I told you, 6 quarterbacks going in the first round. Believe me, somebody's gonna.
Okay, Biggie. So your first pick, what you want? On point guard?
You want the point guard?
On a shooting guard.
You want a shooting guard?
He's considered a point guard, and he's considered a point guard in the draft.
So he's ranked number 8.
Now he's a point guard, shooting guard.
Your boy Shepard is Reed Shepard is number 8. Cody Williams is the first point guard out of Colorado.
You said who?
Cody Williams.
Yeah, I know Cody, but I just don't. To me, I don't really care for his game though. I mean, his 3-point percentage is like, what is it, like 30-something%? I mean, he's a good like. I mean, he could take it to the rack, but his.
Okay, let's go point for point. So Cody is points per game is 11.9. Reed is 12.5.
Mm-hmm.
Cody is assist at 1.6. Reed is at 4.5.
Mm-hmm.
Cody's at 3 rebounds a game. Reed is at 4. Cody's shooting is 55%. Reed is 53%.
There you go. Beating them all around the stats.
Cody. I'm sorry, I left one stat out. Cody is 6'8".
Oh,
Reed is 6'3".
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I left that out.
I mean, yeah, he's 6'8". But I mean, at the end of the day, though,
I'll just brush it off.
he might be. Hey, Biggie. He might be more NBA ready at 6'8".
Yeah, it could be. But I mean, I like I said, I've seen both of their games, and I just feel like I say you can never go wrong with a Kentucky boy. You can never go wrong. Who came from Kentucky that was some sauce?
Shepard's coming out. He'll do
Rex Chapman.
That's right, BJ. You got that power forward height. Listen, you can't teach size, man. At 6'8" point guard, shooting guard, you can't beat that, man.
The French dude is
even if the statistics are close, or even he's a little bit lower in the NBA, he's going to be better than a 6'3" point shooting guard than a 6'8". He can always get his shot out. 6'3", I mean, he couldn't even get his shot off when he was running the star program at the.
I mean, they said the same thing. They said the same thing about Steph Curry coming.
Oh God damn! You just.
They said the same thing. Everybody said the same thing when Steph ain't gonna make it.
No, that's not right. They said Steph was too small.
That's what I just said.
Small, not short.
Small, yeah. Shepard's the same way.
6'8" and 6'3" is not short. It's just not as tall as 6'8".
Young, I'm gonna tell you, if you look at Shepard's threes, that man is shooting beyond the 3-point arc. I mean, he's not stepping into the college three. I mean, he's stepping way out from the college three. And that's a big difference. When you're shooting in the NBA, if you're shooting from that far, 5 or 6 feet from the college three.
Yeah, but
that's
Biggie,
young.
Can I tell you something? Can I clue you in on something?
What's that?
On our team right now, we have a 3-point specialist.
Poole? Coos?
Not Coos.
That sparked my
Who's
our 3-point specialist?
Boy from what you call?
Did he?
Not man. Dude from Gonzaga.
You talking about Kispert?
Kispert
ain't a shooting guard.
What is he?
Kispert's a small forward.
He is not small forward.
He is. Kispert is not a shooting guard. He is not a shooting guard. I would never put Kispert as a shooting guard. I would never.
Who's our shooting guard?
Because a shooting guard can play either point or shoot. I mean, or the shooting guard. Kispert can't run a point. He can't run a point. He doesn't know.
He's not a point guard. He's a shooting guard.
The shooting guard though, because when you had Bradley and when you had Wall, you could either have one of both of them bring up the ball. Shooting guards can bring up the ball like a point guard now and then. Kispert couldn't do that. Kispert can't do that.
Kispert is.
He don't have the ability.
Update. The Mystics lost tonight. They lost to New York Liberty.
I know that already.
Hey,
Biggie from the streets is a little down tonight.
Because I'm for the simple fact, I don't understand why they didn't pick up that girl that was on social media. And she ended up going after the Wizards. What's her name? The one
Bayou Barbie?
Is it? Yeah, I forgot her name. You might be right. They had a chance to pick her up though, and Youngin is talented, man. Youngin is talented, and I don't understand why
you want to pick a project up again.
Yeah, no, that's what Mystics did. They picked up a project. Just like last year, they picked that Asian lady, that Ryu, whatever that lady was from, that Asian girl they picked up. I don't understand what's up with Washington's basketball, like for real. Like, what is going on here? I'm just baffled, like some of the decisions that they make.
The Knicks are killing Indiana right now.
Yeah, I see that. No, well, actually, no, it's 64-74.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a lot.
That's not that bad. We got time.
But that's what I'm saying, though, man.
I mean, we're in a good position. We tanked, like it paid off a little bit. We're gonna get the second player in the draft, so we're in a good position. We just have to rely on.
It's not gonna be Talia Tagovailoa.
I can't pronounce none of them.
Tagovailoa. Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you what.
We're not getting him.
Somebody picked this. Nobody picked him out. I know somebody in somebody training camp.
Yeah,
so
no, he's in Seattle.
Seattle.
I told you he was going to be available after the draft. You didn't have to draft him.
Watch. I bet you watch. He's going to bomb out in Seattle. He's going to bomb out in Seattle.
He's going to bomb out.
Going to bomb out in Seattle.
Anyway, the Wizards are in a good position, I feel. You know, they just got to pick the right player.
And we got to pick the right coach. Now, speaking of that, gentlemen, what coach would you pick up?
I told you who I want.
Who you want, Darvin Ham?
Nah. Mark Jackson.
Oh, he's blackballed. No, thank you.
I know. I'm just saying. If you give him
he's blackballed. Why we would pick the guy that pissed the whole NBA off, man? We're not gonna pick him up, man.
Because we Washington. That's what we do. We pick up the riffraff, man.
Hey, Deacon, he don't play well in the sandbox. That's the word on the street.
Hey, listen, our sandbox is empty right now, so we not worried about playing with nobody, man. Our sandbox.
Mark Jackson is a good coach, but he don't play well in the sandbox.
If you're not going to get somebody like that, then you better get somebody who knows how to teach basketball, because we got a bunch of young players on our team. You're talking about building into the future. They better know how to teach basketball, because these guys are just out there running around right now.
I'm telling you, I like the guy. I like what's his name from Milwaukee when they got rid of him with a winning record. The one that they let go, because he's still on the market right now. And he helped,
Budenholzer or something like that.
Yeah. And he helped Giannis.
He went to Phoenix.
Oh, they picked him up.
Yeah, Phoenix.
Isn't Udoka still out there?
Oh my God!
Udoka's at Houston. Udoka's at Houston.
Washington is so stupid. I would have picked him up.
Yeah, Budenholzer went to Phoenix.
That's why I said Washington got to get it together, man.
We probably gonna pick a young.
I don't know about Adrian Griffin.
No, Washington they'll pick up.
Adrian Griffin isn't he in the college ball?
Adrian Griffin?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Isn't he a college coach? Where's he from, BJ? Because right now, and maybe that's part of the problem, man. There's not really any dominant good coaches out there who can come in and change your franchise around.
I get Tyronn Lue because I heard
you got to take a flyer.
He's still hired by the Clippers.
But I heard he tried to leave. I heard he trying to get up out of there.
Who?
Tyronn Lue. I either get him.
He ain't really done nothing in the league either without LeBron.
He's a pretty good coach though. He's taught the best.
I'm trying to get LeBron to be our player coach.
You want that 40-year-old, huh?
Hey, I pick up Bronny James.
I was about to say,
you just want to go to the basketball game.
I get LeBron for a year.
I'm gonna go. Hey, and LeBron be the player coach with Bronny playing the point. I'm going to the game.
Hey. Give me one more year, LeBron. I'll take LeBron.
Trey, you wouldn't go to the game to see LeBron and Bronny?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's sell tickets, homie. We ain't winning, but that's sell tickets.
We get the little sparkler gun like you used to go with. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I remember now, BJ. Yeah, he did. Doc did him wrong though. He did your boy wrong.
Ice capades or something.
He wanted that job. He still didn't win the championship.
Didn't they
Doc know how to mess a team up.
Doc too, right? Doc got fired too, right?
Did they fire Doc?
I thought they fired Doc.
Yeah, they fired Doc.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't his fault this time. I mean, his players just, got hurt.
Well, Giannis Giannis was the key dude. Yeah.
But then so did Whichcomb at the end. He didn't play the last game.
Hey Biggie, who's the best European player? Who's the best foreign player?
That's the Joker.
No, you talking about in the draft? You talking about all time?
Luka the God?
I'm talking from the Nuggets.
No, the best foreign player. The best
thought
foreign
Dallas.
player.
In the NBA?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be the Joker.
That'd be the
Yeah.
Joker.
The
The Joker might be the best player in the NBA.
Yeah. He on his third. What's that?
Third
revival
He
MVP.
got himself a chip, and you know that's Shaq's all-time big man right now in the league. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I like the Joker.
Hey, look,
I think we
Luke
need
was
to.
good,
I think we need to get a center, number one pick, man. Our number one pick.
Every time we get a center, we don't do nothing with it anyway, man.
But we don't do no point guard either. So what you want?
Shooting guard, nah. Shooting guard, we can pick up a center. We can pick up a center anyway.
You can pick up.
Hey,
You can
Deacon,
pick
you
up.
didn't like Kwame Brown?
I ain't gonna say I don't like him because I don't want him to get in my DMs. Kwame crazy. I got time for that. Yeah, man. Shoot.
Please,
Nah, even Kwame said Jordan didn't like him when he picked him. He wanted to trade him.
yeah.
He wanted to trade him for what's that dude's name? Another bum.
Jordan, I don't know what
But he never did.
Oh, they about to fight.
Uh,
Oh, they about to fight.
They
The Knicks be biting you on your ankles and stuff. You know the Knicks, they playing in New York too. Spike Lee on the court. Smack Spike Lee.
All right, fellas, let's get out of here, man. Hey, we got lucky this time. We got some fruit for our value. We got the second number 2 pick. The combine has been going on. I think it's on its 3rd day. Y'all should watch a little bit of that because your boy Biggie is not performing up to standard. That's why he's dropping. He's number 8 now, not number 5. He's number 8. So keep a good eye on that. But we need a center, man. You need somebody who can, hold down the middle, man. I don't know, whatever. We need some. We ain't got no shooters. We ain't got nothing.
Yeah,
So,
we started. No, we tanking.
We started over last year. We still ain't got nothing.
We got Koulibaly.
Koulibaly.
I'll take Edie.
I ain't gonna cry over Koulibaly. He did give it a good effort. He need to gain some weight, but
Yeah.
We got
but
Denny.
these guys are coming out now, man. 6'10", 6'11", 7'2". We need somebody to because we got nobody to go against that.
Deacon, we got Denny.
He's good. Huh?
Yeah, we Denny.
We got a competitor, man. Gentlemen, let's get out of here. We appreciate everybody. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna make it right. The Wizards gonna do right this year because Al said so.